parking's ready to go. We're just going to make this again immediate availability.
Okay. Yeah.
No. You're going to do one camera pull, nobody else.
Okay.
Camera pull.
All right? Okay. Step up to the mic. Okay. You can just talk to me, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so start with, so they have it.
Well,
say
first,
and spell your name.
Yeah, so my name is Mark Winkie, W-I-N-K-I-E. I'm the current president of the Ocean Beach Town Council.
Your reaction?
Well, it's disappointing to see what happened here this morning, but it's important for everyone to know that as a town council, we really would like education to go first, to notify people about what they need to do when they're gathering here in such large quantities on a Wednesday especially. And then from there, if there's not compliance, possibly shut the park down. But when you shut the park down, you're taking a space away from the community, and that hurts the community because they're not being able to use it. So our position would be to educate people, see if there's compliance, and then if there isn't, move to the next step. But in no way are we endorsing what happened here today. It's very unfortunate.
We've heard calls for compliance and education before. Obviously, the city put up these barriers this morning that lasted all of 3 hours before they were cut down.
Yes.
So what makes you think that education is going to work?
I don't think that's been done, though. I don't think that for particularly the drum circle, no city or county officials been out really interfacing with them. SDPD definitely came out last week and applaud their actions, but no one's actually reached out to this group and said, we're going to give you an opportunity to behave in a way that's responsible. Social distancing, wearing masks, picking up mountains of trash that happens here on Wednesdays and other days, as well as the vending issue, which is slightly different. I think that is something the town council will agree that is something we'd like to see happen first, and then if that fails, then we'll have to step forward with something else.
I mean, you're an OB guy. I mean, we know obesians. In your heart of hearts, do you really think that education and a chat from county official is going to put an end to these gatherings?
I can't make a call on that. I think that there are people that congregate here that are socially responsible and be willing to listen, and we'd have to see how that worked. But clearly, if it doesn't work, then we're back to a situation where this has to be removed from the community for a long period of time. And that's not something we'd like to see. But at the end of the day, if that's what happens, unfortunately, the city is set on shutting it down. So we'd like to see, like I say, education first.
These public health orders have been in place for months now. Do you really think that there are people out there who don't know about social distancing?
Well, I would argue that there are probably people in the group that don't understand their responsibility. They don't really pay attention to media. Certainly, most of us understand what the county requires us to do. But it's worth that step, in my opinion. It's worth that step to reach out and try that first.
If you guys decide to come back because social distancing rules aren't being followed, do you expect police to be able to enforce tickets, or how do you guys actually enforce people making sure they follow the rules?
That's up to the city to explain how that works, but definitely there is an enforcement arm, and I don't think anyone wants to see SDPD, the police department coming down here have to enforce and write citations, but ultimately that would be the last resort.
How much time do you give them in order to be educated and make the right decision? We give it a week? Do we give it until tomorrow?
Well, that'll be up to the city to decide that, and certainly this is something that they may not even consider based on, logistically it's very difficult for the city and the county, to come out here and, do social awareness. That's difficult to do, and putting a barrier around here is helpful from that point of view, and I understand that. And let me just say, the city's been very helpful in communicating with us. We had a meeting with them yesterday. It was slow at the start, but now they understand that this really is a test case, I think, for the city as a whole. you know, how the city and the county work together in these situations certainly is important here, but this could be something that could happen in a lot of other areas. So it's important we get it right.
Good. All right. Next on the tee. Jordan, we'll get the right height here. Oh, sorry, you're not Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
I thought the city council person was coming up.
Oh, okay.
No?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Spell your name.
Yeah, my name is Joel Day, Joelday, and I serve as Senior Advisor for COVID Response and Recovery for the City of San Diego.
Go, Jeff.
Yeah, I guess, you know, just your thoughts on the fences that go up today, and where we are at this park at the moment, and where you guys go from here.
So we know that this has been a community concern for a really long time. For several weeks, Obetians, business owners, residents have asked the council member, have asked the mayor, have come to the city and said, what can we do about this potential of community spread happening in our neighborhood park? Is this going to be a place that's safe for families and safe for people to come together and get outside and walk, or is it not going to be a safe place? And so at the city, we've tried to put together a strategy for this, like Mark said, a test case. We're trying to put together a physical barrier, because right here what happens is people come for dinner and a show, and it's unacceptable underneath the county public health order to come get dinner from a vendor and sit down and watch a show in a public display where hundreds of people are getting together. So we want to create a physical barrier, but before we do that, what we want to do is get together a group of folks that are standing here tomorrow in advance of the Drum Circle event. We're going to have an interdisciplinary team at the direction of the mayor and in consultation with the council member. We're going to have an interdisciplinary team of multiple different departments at the City of San Diego, in conjunction with our county partners and the county compliance team, standing out here letting people know that they are in violation of the public health order. Now, as was previously said, we've been going at this for several months. I don't think that there's a single person here who doesn't understand that they're in violation of the county health order, but we're going to stand here for several hours tomorrow and educate people that this is not acceptable, and the reason why is not just for us who are here, but it's for the most vulnerable in our population. Asymptomatic transmission has occurred in our communities, and it is unacceptable to put more people at risk. Finally, we know that just last week the San Diego Police Department was present to be able to begin enforcing noise ordinances, to make sure that there weren't open containers, and to start distancing people out. There were citations for those activities, and we will continue to increase our enforcement activities in conjunction with our county partners. The message here today is that businesses are doing the right thing down Main Street, right over across the street. Businesses are doing what's necessary underneath the public health order in order to reopen and keep people safe. Residents are doing what's necessary to stay home when they can. And the actions of a small group of people in flagrant disregard of the public health order puts all of those good actors at risk, puts the whole neighborhood at risk, and that's unacceptable.
What are your thoughts on the orange fence that was out here? What was the intent of that, and your reaction to it being taken out?
So this morning we had directed the Parks Department to cordon off the space where a majority of people are gathering. Again, gatherings in public are against the county health order and are subject to fine. And so in order to prevent people from coming together and having a physically congregant space where hundreds of people are in close proximity to each other, not wearing masks, we decided that it's important to have a physical representation. Now, flimsy fence is nothing compared to people being irresponsible. And we know that if people are choosing to be irresponsible and flagrant disregard, fencing is not going to be the thing. It's about all of us getting together as a community and saying that that's not acceptable in our neighborhood and in our community park.
You're going to be here tomorrow night. The whole team is going to be here for how many hours?
So I can speak for myself and my team that's going to be here. We're going to start around 3 o'clock, and we're going to try to prevent people from setting up here in the park and encourage people to socially distance, wear masks in direct compliance. And our county partners are going to be here with us with that task.
Are you going to have the power of citation?
So the strategy that we are employing is one of constant communication, of outreach, and of education. If that doesn't work, just like with businesses, we are elevating that to county partners to issue cease and desist orders, to issue shutdown orders for the people who are the organizers here, just like we do with the business. If that doesn't work, both the sheriff and the San Diego Police Department have the power to enforce, and it's a $1,000 fine. And I think that people, once they realize that, most of the people are going to stay away.
Just to continue, will they be here tomorrow night, the sheriff and the San Diego
just like last week, San Diego Police Department will be here to keep the peace and enforce quality of life citations.
So the fence, are you going to put the fence back up? And if they take it down, are you going to put it back up?
So I think all enforcement options need to be on the table, but the physical barrier is a symbol that is unacceptable for people to come and congregate together in violation of the public health order. And for clarity on the public health order, I'd of course direct you to our county partners, the county doctors, about why it's so important that we prohibit people from coming together in disregard of the public health order, because it does put more people's lives at risk.
So you're going to put the fence back up? The transient problem. That's the real problem. So, sir, is the fence going back up? And if it goes back up, if they take it down, you can put it back up again?
I'm going to return back to.
Is the fence going to go back up?
I'm going to go back right after this to our Parks and Recs department and talk about what's absolutely necessary, which is cordoning off this area and making sure that there is not a focal point for people to gather. And if that's a fence, great. If it's some other form, we need to explore that too. Any other questions from media?
Yeah, I am the media.
Are you prepared to deal with Saratoga Park when they decide to where are the police? Where are the police?
So what we understand is that San Diego Police Department is absolutely part of this strategy. The reason why we are out here right now, and the reason why we followed the lead of the council member, and of county public health, is because we need to make a plea right now to the residents and visitors in Ocean Beach.
It's not the residents that are doing it.
And we recognize that it's a small group of people, hundreds of people that are coming together in an unacceptable way, and we are saying that you need to stop. And if you don't stop, we understand that the county public health order is enforceable with a $1,000 fine, and I don't think that anybody wants to risk that. With that, I would like to invite...
Just very quickly, I'm going to have very quickly before Councilmember Campbell comes up, can we all recognize that the public health order is still in effect in terms of how much space, but currently, right now, if everybody could just look around and try to socially distance among themselves at the moment. Also, could we have all media over here in this area for questions that will be asked,
and before the council member comes up and on that exact point, I think it's incredibly important that we realize that individual responsibility is at the foundation of the compliance. Individual responsibility is necessary. We're not going to ticket our way out of this, but what we do realize is that it is incredibly important for all of us as a community to come around and say what is acceptable and what is not. We are here today to say it is unacceptable to come together in this congregant way, and that it is unfair to the business owners who are in good compliance, to the residents who are in good compliance. Thank you.
This is unacceptable.
What's unacceptable? What's unacceptable is the police get in my face every day and they don't social distance. What's unacceptable is leaving the poor out here. What's unacceptable is you guys getting up our butt all the time about all this shit. We want to be left the fuck alone. Hey, well, go fuck yourself and I'll leave you alone.
The question is, why are there not cops?
We're having a
Where are the
protest.
police? Where are
We're having a protest. We're going to have 40,000 people down here. We're sick of you guys telling what's what. You guys don't even know what the fuck's going on. There's people out here that don't even eat food. And they're getting arrested for fucking sleeping on the sidewalk. You guys are ticketing fucking homeless people. Fuck all you guys.
Is the pool ready for the council
Fuck
member?
social distance. No one gives a fuck anymore. The pool's ready.
Okay, council member, go ahead. Go ahead.
What we're dealing with.
We'll come back to you.
He had some good points, but he kind of overlapped that with his roasting.
Okay, hello. Oh, watch it. Okay, hello everybody. I'm Councilmember Jennifer Campbell. I'm a physician, and I've been wanting since day one of this COVID thing for this city and this county to get strong. This is a life-threatening situation. Oh, it would be wonderful if OB could be its old self, get together, see old friends, new friends, and have fun. That's what we want to happen again. But right now, people who come here with no mask, with no distancing, are being irresponsible, and they could get sick, deathly sick, and die. Every day, more and more San Diegans are dying. So we have to get tough. And I'm telling you, if this situation that happened last Wednesday night happens this Wednesday night, there's going to be a lot of clamp down. And so they have got to stop it. They have got to, and they've got to behave in a responsible, adult, mature manner. This is a worldwide emergency. Every single person has to take part in ending it. We have not had the kind of national leadership we need, but we have an election coming. So hopefully that will change. But in the meantime, it's up to us. The guy has put it on us.
Yeah, Jen.
All right, so the county has a rule, no more than 10 can get together. Whether it's in your house, whether it's out here in a park, wherever it is. And by God, that is now the law. And therefore, the county sheriff should be here arresting people who aren't wearing masks, who aren't distancing, and who are coming together too strong. Believe me, I have I have heard my constituents. I understand what you're going through. And this is the worst virus in the history of medicine. It's very dangerous. Some of you don't believe it, but it's true.
We believe it. We want enforcement of the law.
Yes, we need to make enforcement. Okay, so I'm telling everybody who loves to congregate here, behave, or you're going to be in big trouble.